always gifts. So the gifts of new potential, it's about birthing something, new chapters, and you've got the Ace of Discs and the Ace of Cups. So there seems to be, for some cancers, not only an emotional new beginning, but a financial one. Some of you might be launching a new business. You've got the Ace of Discs in the money house, or a new job. You might be changing and creating something new within the money and work sector. That's a really exciting card to turn up here. So you do enter into the month of February with the World card and the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups is the happy ever after card. It tends to mean happy families, but what family means to you, Cancer, is totally unique. So this is about sharing yourself with others. The tens are always about an overpouring of energy, and this is the overpouring of emotional well-being, Cancer, which is going out to bless other people, and it's an absolutely beautiful card. The World card is the final major arcana. So for some of you, particularly with that Ace of Discs, you could be launching a new business with these two cards, okay? There could be a new love affair starting, or an existing relationship is just in a really, really healthy state. You are really working through stuff, because the World card essentially means a synthesis of everything that's gone before. It's a completion card, so there's a lot of lessons been learned, and you're ready to launch yourself. You're ready to move forward in the month of February in a really dynamic, really positive way. So I absolutely love that for you. Your additional guidance card is also the Lovers. So the Lovers card, it is about an important relationship decision. Yeah, it also means choices, but I'm beginning to understand the choices is always around a significant relationship. Okay, so I think the theme is really, really clear. And I've just noticed you've got the Justice card in the house of relationships, which is basically saying the work you've done, what you've put into a relationship is going to come back to you, and if that's good or bad, I've no idea, but we'll talk about that a bit later. So what you most want is the Five of Swords. So obviously what you most want is not conflict. What you most want is the end of some sort of conflict. Okay, the Five of Swords is a state of mind, and in this state of mind there always has to be a winner and a loser. It's about competition, people sort of fighting with each other. It can also mean winning a battle, because in the image the guy has overcame something, but it's been at quite a cost. So it's a state of mind, Cancer, which is going against the healthy flow of life, okay? We all get fives, are part of the process of change. But, what am I going to say but? It's a state of mind that isn't the most peaceful and isn't the most content. So you might be winning something, but it's coming at a cost, not only to you, but to the people in your environment. And I'm going to pull you another card, actually. There you go, the Six of Swords. So the 6 comes right after the 5, okay? Now the difference here is incredible, because the waters are really calm. This is about the absence of conflict and moving from conflict into very smooth waters. So this makes sense about what you most want. And I don't know if this is around a relationship or not, to tell you the truth, Cancer. There might be a relationship, it might be work, it might be with someone in your community where there's a little bit of angst and you've had enough, and You want to move this on to the 6. You want harmony to be restored, and you want peace to be restored, okay? Now the card that's helping you find that peace is the Magician card. Now this is a really interesting card to get here, okay? Because I want you to take a close look at the image here. He brings in this power, divine power, through his crown chakra, and he brings it through his body, and he sets intentions, whatever he does, into manifesting a much more peaceful, harmonious life. But he cannot bring this energy through into manifestation if he's too full of his own mind, if he's too full of his own opinions, and if he's too full of conflict. So Cancer, you might have to work with this energy a little bit. So you might have to work with a state of conflict, trying to move on to a 6. And the only way you can do that, and there's no judgment here, Cancer, is to work with your reaction patterns. It's about becoming like the King of Swords. You know, the King of Swords is someone who's got mastery over his own mind. He literally has learnt not to react. The King of Cups would be exactly the same. And actually, any of the kings or any of the queens, they don't tend to react as much to what's going on around them. And that is the only way you can move that 5 to the 6. Okay? The Magician will help you. That's a really, really, really powerful card that's protecting you, supporting you, and guiding you, Cancer. But you can't get that new energy unless you're willing to surrender the old states of thinking. And the 5 of Swords thinking is always about winners and losers and competition, and like dog eat dog. It's an environmental and a state of mind of conflict, and non-reaction brings it to an end. And whatever this Magician does, it can be anything, but it's about learning to heal your thinking, your emotional patterns, so you're no longer reacting as much to environmental stimuli, because we all have people around us that just love to drag us into drama, Cancer, and maybe this is what this is about. And what you're having to learn to do is work with that Magician energy, which is to get those 4 discs. And to get those 4 discs, it's about learning to focus your energy and focus your power, and not let people around you control you quite as much, okay? I understand the water signs. It can be really, really tricky to not let ourselves be so affected. But that seems to be the message of these cards. Now, your challenge is the Hierophant. So the Hierophants are really traditional energy. It's about external authority. I'm trying to understand this as the Hierophant, as a challenge. So maybe, Cancer, this is a dilemma about being true to yourself against some of the opposition coming from what you should be doing, what you could be doing. Do you understand that state of mind where you would say to yourself, oh, I need to do this, I should be doing this? It's that endless list of how we're meant to live our lives, which keep us absolutely choked, which keep us often in a state of conflict, in a state of stress. And it seems to me, with the Magician card as a supportive energy, there seems to be talking about the power of change. And that power of change is going to come from releasing a lot of the past thinking processes. And the biggest ones to release is that sense of really heavy obligations, of what I should be doing, what I could be doing. It's all these things that keep us trapped, because that Magician's a bit powerful new energy, and you don't get that source working through you unless you're willing to surrender the old ways of thinking and allow it to enter into your life, okay? In your relationship house, you've got the Justice card. So that tends to mean whatever you've been working for, working with, what you've been waiting for is about to manifest, okay? The Justice card has got a blindfold on. So really what that means, if you've been putting loads of good in, loads of work into your relationships, you're going to get that good back. If you haven't, then I'm not quite sure what to say, but the Sun cards just showed up, which is saying to me, Cancer, that what you're about to reap is growth, joy, new awareness, abundance, that sort of thing. Absolute celebration in your relationship house. Wonderful, wonderful cards to show up here. As I said, money and work, new business, new job, or just a gift of money. Some of you might be having ideas about how to generate a new business, a new project. Maybe some of you are going deep within and trying to contemplate how you can change things, how you can live and work in a way which is more in keeping with your own destiny, okay? At a soul level, you've got the Queen of Pentacles again, so you might be focusing quite a lot on birthing this new pentacle, or you're very, very connected with your own inner sense of safety. I love seeing that Queen of Pentacles. She's my favourite queen right now because she represents nurturement, being in your body, being grounded. She represents well-being, Mother Nature. Now this peacock gets its tail by eating its thorns, and its thorns are our old thinking patterns. So the theme continues here, Cancer, that maybe there's some, maybe you have a work environment that's hostile, okay, that keeps you up at night, that creates conflict. Maybe it's a relationship, I don't know. But this queen and that peacock grow into their absolute authenticity by changing the thinking patterns. The 5 becomes a 6. The waters start to run very, very gentle because there's no longer any emotional turmoil. Your outcome is Ace of Cups. The most beautiful card in this deck. I absolutely love it. It's heart and mind blending into one. It's learning to see through the eyes of love. It's for some a whole new emotional chapter in your life, either within an existing relationship or a new one. But what it tends to mean is overwhelmingly beautiful feelings regarding something, regarding your own self, regarding life and your place in the world. And I just turned around and you've got another Ace of Swords. Again, a bit like the Magician. He's got 4 aces and you've now got 3. Absolutely outstanding. The only thing that's missing is the Ace of Wands. And that is, it's almost you've got this force and this power helping you to birth all this new potential, Cancer. And the challenge seems to be in that state of mind and learning to take a little bit of a step back. I haven't got all the answers because it's only a general reading, but learning, it's such a hard one to explain, but when you get the Ace of Swords, it's a gift, okay? It's about the